It bears mention here that archery doesn't appear in the New Covenant. There is no command to fight or to take booty. Jihadists aren't mentioned, much less rewarded. Yet the Quran has a chapter named
The Spoils of War,
and dozens of surahs promote violence. The Hadith dedicates volumes to
Jihad in Allah's cause.
But you won't find a single chapter focused on promoting peace or love in any of Islam's original books. These scriptures are over 10,000 times more violent than the Old Covenant and infinitely more belligerent than the New.
Muslim, Abdallah said to Uqba, "You frequent between these targets, but you are an old man. Hitting them is hard." Uqba said, "But for one thing I heard from the Prophet I would not strain myself." "What was that?" The Prophet said, "Who learnt archery and then gave it up is not from us and is guilty of disobedience to Allah's apostle."
Islam's prophet said that if a Muslim stopped shooting arrows, he was being disobedient to him, and he was therefore no longer a Muslim. Allah was superfluous. The jihadists have and will continue to fight holy war until the end of time, Islam or infidels.
Muslim, the Holy Prophet, may peace be unto him, said, "This religion will continue to exist, and a group of people from the Muslims will continue to fight for its protection until the hour is established."
By fighting, they are protecting Islam. That means it wouldn't endure if left to reason and choice. And that is why we, if we wish to go on living, must create choice by removing Islam's sword.
Muslim, Abd al-Rahman said, "I was in the company of Maslama,"
the murderer,
and Abdallah,
the assassin.
Abdallah said, "The hour shall come when the worst types of people are left on the earth. They will be worse than the people of pre-Islamic days. They will get whatever they ask of Allah." Maslama said, "Listen to what Abdallah says. He knows better. So far as I'm concerned, I heard the messenger say, a group of people from my Umma will continue to fight in obedience to the command of Allah, remaining dominant over their enemies. Those who oppose them shall not do them any harm. They will remain in this condition until the hour overtakes them." Abdullah said, "Yes. Then Allah will raise something wild, which will be fragrant like musk, and those who touch it will be like silk. It will cause the death of all persons, not leaving behind a single person with an iota of faith in his heart. Then only the worst of men will remain to be overwhelmed by the hour."
This sounds like a prophecy. But since Muhammad said that the hour would come 500 years after his prophetic ministry, he either goofed or all true Muslims are dead, having been wiped out by the fragrant and soft wild something or other. If errant prophecy isn't troubling enough, consider this contradiction from the preceding hadith.
Muslim, Abu Sufyan quoted a tradition from the Prophet, which he related his sermon from the pulpit, saying, "He grants him an understanding of religion. A group of people from the Muslims will remain on the right path and continue until the day of judgment to triumph over those who oppose them."
Bukhari and Muslim both reported,
Allah's messenger forbade that one should travel to the land of the enemy taking the Koran with him.
Under the chapter heading,
"It is forbidden to take the Koran to the land of the infidels when it is feared that it might fall into their hands,"
Imam Muslim provides clarification.
Muhammad used to forbid anyone from traveling to the land of the enemy taking the Koran, lest it should fall into the hands of the enemy.
And
the messenger said, "Do not take the Koran on a journey with you, for I am afraid lost it would fall into the hand of the enemy." Ayub, one of the narrators in the chain of transmitters, said, "The enemy may seize it and may quarrel with you over it."
I would like to ponder the devastating consequence of this final hadith to the mission and message of Islam's lone prophet. It confirms that the Quran was not a godly revelation designed to reveal truth or to save mankind. Non-Muslims weren't to see it. Therefore, the sole purpose of the armed assaults against the infidels was for power, for land, and for money. Religion didn't play into the equation. The scriptures were not to be shared. That also means that no one became a Muslim based upon Muhammad's Quran recitals. All Muslims submitted to the sword of Islam. They were simply indoctrinated later. There are some other troubling sidebars here. The Quran didn't exist as a book, and there was no divine or prophetic order to turn it into one. To say that it could not be taken is to say that Muslim militants had to wipe the poisonous poetry from their minds before they set off to slay infidels. So then, why were they fighting, if not for booty? Most troubling of all is that Muhammad knew that he had perpetrated a scam. He knew his Quran recitals would not stand up to scrutiny. Literate people, godly people, would make a farce of them. So Muhammad didn't want his Quran seen by anyone who was free to think, free to speak, free to choose. It was only after Islam eliminated these freedoms that Islam's message was to be revealed, and then it was too late.